I can't believe this, And I so wanted to make sure that you were okay. All right. So I am live once again. Hopefully everybody else will be joining me. Sorry guys for disappearing on you. Um, just give me one moment. Okay, so
You can hear me?
right.
Awesome.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, so this
And
is
we're back.
awesomeness.
We're back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So my girls are coming slowly back in,
Okay.
as you can see, because they were like all over me. Guys, what happened? What happened? So I was trying so quickly.
Yeah.
But
It's okay.
I do say that the original stream, which I usually use, which is Streamlabs,
This
for some reason, and maybe I told you that it was giving me some problems. So I'm trying out this new thing called StreamYard. As you can see, unfortunately, it has that link there. 'Cause I didn't want to buy it before I start use
Yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and it is working perfectly. I can't believe how quickly it got me back up.
So
That's great.
in this StreamYard, can I just ask you about this application? Are you able to watch the movie? And were you on the thing yesterday?
No. What happened is that I had my movie separate. I purposely didn't put it on this
No,
screen.
no, I know. I just didn't know if you had to join the thing yesterday because you said some of your girls might be joining. And the way that platform works is the movie plays, and then on the side, there's all the places where people are chatting back and forth. Is that how this platform works?
Actually, no. You basically, well, yes, it can work if that's the paying. This is actually the application that I'm using right now is free.
Oh, I see. So if you pay for it, you can do the other things.
Yes, you can do whatever you want to do, but in this particular instance, and I actually can do that, but I will not do that because it's your movie.
Yes, thank you. I'd appreciate that. We're
So
already starting to deal with piracy issues.
You
So
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So what I
it's
did,
the bane of the little film. It
you
is
understand?
the bane. Yes.
So what I did is that I had everybody have their own copies, and
Yes.
I told you all what I did.
Yeah.
It's some people who, in particular situations, could not get copies,
Okay.
and I had bought. But I do have the director's cut. So what I did is that I lent a few people, so that they can see.
Mhm.
But the rest of the guys, we all bought our copies ages ago,
Okay.
and
Cool.
they were streaming on their side, and we just synced together. So
Okay.
you're basically just watching and chatting about the entire movie and go and all over Freddy all over again.
No.
And you, Kyle. In fact, one of your biggest fans right now, T, they both said hello. So then they
Hi,
noticed.
Clayton and T.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
T, you was talking all the time throughout the entire movie. Say something, okay?
Yeah.
All you said was hello. Ask her something. She's here right now. All of a sudden, you've gone gun shy.
So we
No,
can't see any of the people that are asking you questions, right? We can't see any of the people that are asking you questions.
No.
Oh, okay.
In order for me to do that, I would need the other wider platform,
Got
which
it.
is in the same. Yeah. And plus some you actually, if you open, I can give you the link to the stream right now, and so you can see it on YouTube if you want.
No, that's fine. As long as we can answer the questions okay for them. I just didn't know how the platform worked, because these are all pretty new now, and we're all just trying to figure out how they actually function.
Well, here's the beautiful thing. I can actually show, like, I'm gonna show some of the comments that are coming through.
Okay.
So this is the tea that I was talking about, and she was saying that she has the director's cut. And then Peyton
Thank you, Peyton.
Thank you.
So basically, I can show that is why I find this platform is so fantastic, because even at its free segment, it allows you to do so much.
Well, it allows you to have more than one person on, which is the big drama with Facebook that we ended up where, Kayla had to go on separately, then I have to go on separately. We want to be able to have all our people at the same time. So we're trying to find platforms that work better than what we were doing.
Actually, StreamYard, you don't need anything like OBS or anything else like that. You just literally go on the platform, and they give you a link immediately. You can
just send that to everybody. So I can just send that to NCFF in Facebook, and they can just get on the link. That's how we'll do it from now on. That just is so much easier.
That sounds so much easier.
Oh my God.
And there is you can go straight to Facebook and YouTube on the free link. The paid link, which is like $20 a year. You can add up to 100 people at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I can add up to 10 free.
Oh, on the free thing. Got it.
Right? I can add 10, but I can broadcast unlimited people.
Got it.
So you can just see on camera 10 right now, but if you were paying like $20, you can see up to 100 people at the same time.
Okay, cool.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I'm going to check it out.
It's called StreamYard. It's really, really good. I think I'm going to be using guests from now on.
Yeah. Well, I'm not wild about Zoom because so many people use it that you get knocked off every time you have one of your. So T is asking what makes the director cut. Well, it's funny. I got Kayla. I was going to tell you. I got my first email from somebody who watched it on TV, and she says, "Where is the love scene?" Because there are platforms that will not carry love scenes, not because it's lesbian, but they do not carry love scenes. And so many people who watched on TV will not see the director's cut. The director's cut is available for everybody else who wants to download it from VOD, DVD, and they can get that from Vision Films, Wolf Video, Lesflix. That's all the director's cut. But on certain platforms, like I think Comcast and Spectrum, maybe, they just don't put love scenes in, so they cut them. So, which is kind of heartbreaking because you know that we tried to cut this so it would always be PG-13, and that that the love scene should theoretically not offend anybody, because it's so tastefully done. So that's what makes the director's cut. Thanks, T.
No problem. And here's the thing: everybody basically who is on right now has either T, well, of course, except for Peyton, Peyton and T. Even my subscribers from my Patreon were on. The only thing is the unfortunate thing is it's too long a process to get them back. But that's because of Patreon. But at least they would have this afterwards, this link for them to be able to see. And that's another thing. You can get a link if somebody couldn't make the broadcast. You would be able to get a link afterwards.
Did you hear that, Kayla?
Yeah, I heard that. What was that?
It was so weird. It was like a reverb feedback or something.
Yeah,
that was weird. Strange.
It's weird.
Very.
All kinds of things happening.
I'm sorry. I'm like so exhausted from yesterday because I've worked nonstop since back from Australia to get this prepped for the DVD and the release yesterday. And after that release, after I debriefed with Lisa for about an hour, and then I called my mom. Oh. Thank you. You can thank this lovely lady.
Oh, we did. Here's the really awkward, not awkward part, but here's the really delightful part. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, Kayla, but literally when my dog started, we were in the middle of the,
Oh no.
of the love scene, and it was like, no.
They were feeling it too. They didn't know how to handle it.
which is why everybody said, I said, guys, I'm going to pause it. No, I was like, okay, all right, and I left it.
You can't pause it to the other viewers in the middle of the love scene. No. That wouldn't be fair.
That's a horrible time to pause.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see, but this is why we got kicked off, guys. This is why we got kicked off.
Okay, what was the inspiration, motivation behind this amazing film? That was very much inspired by my son, Nicholas, who many of you know is, my son, and also from the film Little Man. Many of you know him, and you stay in touch with me because of him, which is awesome. But it's definitely inspired by that and my relationship with Gabrielle. A lot of the scenes are from Gabrielle's and my rituals that we do as mother and daughter. And of course, there's stuff in there from my own mother. So it was very much inspired by the family members that, are the things that are closest to me in my life.
Well, actually, when we were the part of the film where you were going through the Freddie's routine of putting him to bed, all of us at the time was saying that it was so great that you didn't skip over that you showed exactly how it is to have what it means to go through that, and that it wasn't just skipped over. You didn't just airbrush it out of the movie. And that
I wanted viewers to understand that Samantha, Kayla's character, this is their life. And that's why it's so hard to bring somebody else into this kind of life, because it's asking a lot of somebody to say, yes, I'll be a part of this, if it's not their child. Thank God for my incredible nurses. They love him like family, and it's just, amazing from that standpoint. But that's part of it. So.
Okay. Because it was, we never get to see that. We almost never get to see that in a film, or far less a lesbian movie. They always gloss up, as you know, all movies, but especially our movies.
Well, I got some feedback about the nightmare scene, that people didn't want that in there because it was too, not horrifying, but just, it was hard to watch. But it's like, but that's what this is about. That's what this woman and her son have gone through. So it's like, I actually love that nightmare scene. What do you think?
I do too. I think it's so important.
And I love the shots of you in them. Those are some of my favorite shots. Just love that sequence. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kayla.
Yeah. No, it's okay. No, I just think it's important for people to see. And a lot of the times I think people gloss over it because they think it's too hard to see. But that's a really important aspect of the story that we were telling, and we had to show that this is what they deal with every day. This is, Nicole deals with this stuff all the time. So we wanted it to be honest and true and not sugarcoat anything.
But yeah, because, and this is something that, this is one of the main factors that all of us really, really liked it, because it's just not something that usually is portrayed on film, and especially, as I keep coming back, on lesbian films, because as you know, Nicole, filmmakers or writers love our tropes. And they haven't been able to understand that there are certain things that lesbians or queer females hate to see on film.
I know. It's really true, especially when it's from like a male director and they think that's the way things are done. It just is. And not to knock men. I love men, but it's just women who make films make them differently than men do, I believe.
One of the reasons why my hair is so gray, I go through all of these films for my subscribers, and they want, we hunger for movies. So I have to go through platforms like web series and shorts and music and movies, and it's I find gems that are not pushed to the front at all, and then some that are celebrated are just a list of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Trope after trope after trope.
Well, I'm hoping one of the things I think I told you about a little bit about with Nicole Conn Films Global is to try to raise money to produce a film every 18 to 24 months. And one of the things is that we want to do subgenres, and I want to do a horror film with Kayla, and I want to do an action adventure film with Kayla, because I think, well, first of all, because I've seen how you do those fight scenes that you've done that are like so freaking rocking cool.
It's
Plus,
so fun.
once you've worked with somebody who works as hard as Kayla does, and you know she will do all the work that is required, you don't want to ever stop working with that person, because that's really, you are a gem. I think I've told this story many times, but you're the only person who knew everybody's lines by heart. It was like if there was somebody who was missing a line, Kayla was like, pop up.
Bravo!
Harley was saying yesterday, you know, when actors get a script, all they do is go and highlight their lines. Literally, that's what they do. They don't even know what the story's about. They just keep, you know.
Right.
So they know their lines, but if there's a line that's missing, you know. But Kayla blew me away over and over and over. You knew everything. I love that.
Kayla, I'm probably appearing as calm as
you are.
Yes, but inside, you know, there's a little lesbian in me that's jumping up and down right now.
Perfect. I love that.
Because I think I told Nicole, besides Freddie, you were my absolute favorite in the film. And I have actually followed you. And I think I told you this, Nicole. I was there watching television live when I saw you first audition for You So You Think You Can Dance.
That was I.
And I was pissed when you came.
So were we. We were so mad. We were so, the whole family screamed in unison, no!
I am telling you. So when I first saw you were connected to the film, I was like,
yeah. So you knew Kayla from way back then anyway. Yeah.
Listen, I still think that the dance that you did with, God, what's his name? Hold on. My mind, I'm kind of old. I did write it down because I forgot his name and I wrote it down somewhere.
Capona.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. With Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hands down, one of the best dances ever. Also, You Think You Can Dance. Ever.
Addiction.
It was
addiction.
It was so special. Yeah. It was a really special one.
Oh my God. That was my fangirling point.
It took to write the script. Well, the script was originally one thing prior to all the changes that happened in my life, and then it became totally a different thing. So it took several years to pull it all together.
Okay. T is just flying in with these questions, dude.
It's nice to have the focus of let's replace the emphasis on the next. Well, that's exactly. Thank you. I think this is exactly where lesbian library cinema is today. It's like we don't talk about being lesbian; we just are, and we meet people, we fall in love, and I feel like it's much more accepted to have. Well, we're in freaking everything. We're token characters in every sitcom, every drama, every whatever. So I think we're at the place where we don't explain who we are. We just are now. And that's why now is the push from me to get the subgenres in, doing the horrors and the action flicks and the rom-coms and stuff along those lines. So.
Yeah, because just before we get to Chris's question, because of the fact, I think we spoke about it in my interview with you, is that we're fed up of just having either rom-coms, drama, romance. I mean, seriously? I don't think that's how lesbian lives really work. But it would be nice to as you said, a horror film.
Yeah,
you know,
specifically for Kayla because she's a horror fan.
I'm a big horror fan. Yeah.
T, where are you, T? We're calling you out, girl. I mean, that's
okay. Let Kayla answer this question.
Yeah, please.
Chris, what was the most difficult scene to do, and what was your favorite? So I always say there were two scenes that were the most difficult, and it was when I talk about losing my father and giving birth to Freddie, the process that I had to go through, and how everyone just kind of left and gave up on him. It was that scene, and then that very last scene where it's the big explosion where Max finds out that she's my mom, that's my mom, and this and that. And I think they were the hardest because they were the most gritty and the most true parts of the story. And I wanted to portray and bring these stories to life. Nicole and Brittany, Kale's mom, were in the room when I did that last scene. And you know, it's something that these people deal with every single day, the feeling like, you know, time is ticking and all this stuff, and not being able to wait to see if someone's being honest and whatnot. I wanted it to be as true as possible without being melodramatic, without it being over the top. I wanted it to come out very honest and true. So it was just, it wasn't hard to connect to it because I luckily had a lot of people around me who were you know, telling me about their experiences, and I was able to connect to it, but they were definitely the most important and scary ones to get into, just to make sure that they were really true.
And she rocks both of those so
out of the park.
So out of the park. And you know, the thing is, every time I watch the end scene, Kayla, it still totally gets me. Every time you say those lines about the expiration date, it always freaking gets me. I've seen this movie a million freaking times, but your performance in that scene is so unbelievably raw and authentic. I mean, you killed us on the set, so you know, it was like, and
not to cut across you, Nicole. I just wanted you all to draw attention to the fact that I called T out and I told her that she was a horror freak. So there you go.
Okay, T, I see you.
Okay, can I just ask you guys, what do you think lesbians would like? More of a horror, like fantastical, or more of like horror serial killery?
That's a hard one. Can we wait?
Like a psychological thriller is what would compel me. But I know a lot of horror also is kind of like fantastical. You know, some of the stuff is just beyond like what would really happen in the world. But so what are you guys compelled by?
Well, actually, here's my take on it. Why do we have to choose? Why we can't get both? But if you're asking what's your next film going to be?
That's true.
Well, the next film I'm working on is called Do We Not Bleed, and it's a very, very dark story about two women who experience tragic, unexpected loss, totally independent of each other. One loses her son to a school shooting, and the other one loses her sister and niece to a double suicide. And they end up in a specialized grief group. And they're like the odd couple. One's very buttoned up with her grief, and the other one's like a total slob and just lets go and, you know, can't function any other way. And then they realize the only two people they can heal with is each other. And there's a lot of really like. Pardon?
Where can I buy? I'm looking to where can I buy that now, please?
Do We Not Bleed?
No, I said where we can buy it.
The lesbian community first has to pay for it.
I'm like, where can I buy it? Are you kidding me? No, listen.
No, but I haven't talked to Kayla about this, but there's another film that we're working on that I really am very interested to have her be one of the other leads in. But I haven't talked to you about this yet. So, and it's one of the next films that we're doing.
You can take this time. I mean, I'm not stopping you in any way at all. I mean,
well, I knew I wanted to work with Kayla immediately after the minute she was on the set. I knew I wanted to work with her again. And I also knew that women would fall madly in love with Zoe and Kayla everywhere because we all did on set. You know, I knew that you both appealed to a wide range of the lesbian community. And I was right. Women have fallen madly in love with Kayla. And
Oh, they're the best.
It's not just that, though. You are so freaking talented. I want to, I want to keep growing you. It's basically what it comes down to. And I just think it'll be a fun thing for you, because I've watched some of your web series stuff, and I think you do comedy pretty well. And so it's one of those things that I think would make the lesbians very happy.
What web series?
Yeah, no, I'm down.
Tell her
which
one where you're with this guy. I just loved it. It was something that you put in you texted it to me a while back, and then I was really busy and I just watched it a few days ago.
Were we in an office?
No, you were in an apartment, like in an apartment setting. No. You're on a couch with this guy.
Oh, that's probably, trying to remember which one
funny.
It is. It might be.
It's really nicely cut too.
It might be a series I was working on with a director friend of mine called Engaged. I'll have to check and get back to you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were creating the show.
Peyton says, that's what I said earlier. What I love about your movies, Nicole, you talk about different subjects. Yeah, well, that's just it. There's so much to talk about, and our library needs to have all of those subjects in it, because this is where we are cinematically right now, growing the library. And I finally realized, I always wanted to break out of the lesbian community niche. And while I have a couple of projects I would love to still do that have anything to do with being a lesbian, after More Beautiful, I just really felt reinvigorated and renewed to recommit to doing women's films. I just love them. I don't know. It's just my thing, I guess.
The thing about it is, before we get on to, and the thing about it is that I find a lot of, after interviewing so many directors, I find a lot of y'all say that sometimes, that y'all want to do something else besides being pigeonholed to doing lesbian.
It's not even that
genre.
It's about economics. You cannot make a living doing what I do, essentially.
But the thing about it is, I always said, if we keep making the films, the same rom-coms and the same stuff like that, then I'm sorry, but there is a lot of money in the lesbian community, and they are willing to spend it. But we want to see films that truly reflect who we are, and not every rom-com is something that we want to see. That's just doesn't it. We're such a diverse platform of plethora of women.
That's just it. I mean, the only thing lesbians share in common is that they like other women. They don't share anything else in common. There's nothing. There is nothing. They don't have to share the same religion or race, or it's just they just love women, and so you have to speak to all women. You can't just So, okay, what parts of the movie weren't originally in script but were ad-libs the director kept? Anything with Kale and the charm offensive, when he's trying to get through to Mackenzie, is all Kale. He came up with all of that stuff.
It was hysterical.
Oh my God, the funniest part of that entire movie is when, after the love scene and you all were on the couch and he came up from up there like a submarine, way belly peed our pants. I swear to Almighty God, that was the most adorable thing. And then he was like, it's like, that, and the time when both of you was speaking over the car. I think your car had quit.
Yeah, isn't that adorable?
And he woke up. Like I said from the very beginning, I said he put in motion this whole, he was playing Cupid from day one. He saw Max, fell in love with Max, and decided that was my mama's girl. I mean, it's like he put that plan into motion from get-go.
I know, I love that. And his expression is just so delicious when he is this is working out. I can go back to sleep.
It's like, and he actually sighs. He's like, my work is done.
Okay, so Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Your films are inspired in part by your life, and I find it very interesting, but also very inspiring for our young generation. Oh, thank you.
Ditto.
I always think younger women won't like my films, but I have a lot of really young fans. Well, because I've always spoken basically to the same audience, the boomers, essentially, because that's who I've grown up with. That's who started my fan base with Claire of the Moon in '93. So but it always amazes me, especially when they like Claire of the Moon, because while I like my first movie, it's very clunky in many places, and it's hard for me to watch the first 25 minutes. I just want to crawl under the couch. But I'm just always amazed when younger women like those films. So,
and that's unfortunate, because in the previous broadcast where we were actually watching the film, we actually we pointed out that what were, you know, some of our favorite movies that you, if everybody had seen everything you had ever done, most of us had said yes. And then which ones were our favorites? And today we had more of a diverse, because some people, I think, T, which one was yours again? She's one of my closest friends.
It's so funny, because when you find somebody who's like their Elena Undone, that's their thing. A Perfect Ending, that's their thing. Claire of the Moon, that's their thing.
But all of us love this film because it is like, if we did not know, I'm being honest with you here. If we did not know it was your film, we would not have recognized it, because there were so many elements. I mean, the only common thread from this film to all of your other films is that, of course, you are, as I said before, the master at finding leads that have superb chemistry together. And that's the only thing. I mean, the lovemaking that we can practically put a pin on our calendar for about, it was totally different. Your storytelling was totally different. Oh, and the ending, of course. Well, you change that ending and I think we'll have a riot. So now, I mean, when we're feeling down, and every lesbian film has either killed off one partner, separated them, suddenly discovered that they're in love with a man, or some kind of bull crap.
Welcome to the community, Kayla.
It is great to just put on a Nicole Conn film, and no matter what crap happens, you know they're going to end up together. And, you know, you go happily along. I mean, because except for
the perfect ending. But did you see?
Start. I have a problem with that. With you, with me.
Wait! I just have to tell you, we made Netflix's top 10 unrated movies today in Netflix for a perfect ending.
I saw that.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, congrats!
Yeah, I was so stoked.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on. I don't think you'll answer this one. Do you have other subjects that you would like to talk about and highlight?
Yes, as I just said in Do We Not Bleed, I want to talk about, you know, essentially what happens to people when they're, you know, really, really shaken by unexpected grief and, you know, violent ends. And, you know, when my sister passed, and it was a very violent suicide that she committed, I basically fractured. I mean, I just really, really fell apart in ways that I could never even imagine. I mean, I was basically a crazy woman at one point, and I would never have thought that that would happen to me. I had no preparation for that kind of grief, you know, and I don't think many people have that kind of, like their son gets shot in a school, you know, it's just, that kind of grief is just unimaginable and incomprehensible. And when it happens, your brain tries to figure out ways to deal with it. And that's what I'm exploring with these two characters. We both hear their narrative dialogue about how they're dealing with it very differently and what they think about each other. They're having this dialogue while they're looking at each other. Like, why don't you fucking comb your hair? You know, kind of thing. And you know that they're already underneath each other's skin. So that's one of the things. Then we have a film that I was talking about with Kayla. I also really want to look at the other, highlight anything that is makes a person feel, inspires, and gives hope. I mean, those really are the things that I want to provoke in a viewer and have them feeling and thinking. That if I've done that, I've done my job. That's how I look at it.
All right.
So for T, perfect ending, and Elena Undone are our faves. But if you were stuck on a desert island and you could only take one of them, which would it be?
You're gonna blow each other. What you gonna do to my people?
Yeah,
their minds are gonna go boom now.
Okay, so Claire of the Moon, perfect ending, are all your faves? Same question. Oh, okay. Well, perfect ending. What about the other gal that was just on there? Which one? The one who had a Claire of the Moon, a perfect ending, and Elena Undone were her favorites. Yeah, that one. Which one would you take to the desert island? We're going to do this survey in NCFF pretty soon.
Oh my gosh. And did anything unexpected happen?
Oh yeah. There were many unexpected, exciting things happening. Some of which I cannot go into because they were just awful crew issues. But we were talking about the one yesterday. We had called in just a temporary makeup artist. It wasn't the person that we used because I used her A Perfect Ending, and I love this woman. But we had an on-call makeup artist who, when Zoe was brought to set, Kayla and I were already at set. When Zoe was brought to set, I mean, what did she looked like the Joker or something. It was just awful. She looked like the bad old Joan Crawford, not the beautiful old Joan Crawford. It was awful. The worst makeup job. I mean, how can you make somebody as beautiful as Zoe not look good? So I had to take her into the car. Kayla, we had to redo her makeup. I think you guys helped each other put it together. It was just, oh my God, so awful. So they had to basically kind of do their own hair and makeup for all the rest of the reshoots that day. And that same weekend of those reshoots, the house that I used to live in, where we were shooting out the attorney that you see that comes in snips, the big, huge tree fell on the house the day before we were shooting. And they had to have a crew. Yes, they had a crew. The tree, I have pictures of it. The tree's like all over the house with all these broken branches all over the place. So I asked them if they would move the tree off the house, and we would be very careful so we could because we had to shoot that day. So that's what we ended up doing. So yeah, that was fun. I was walking in the morning and I thought, oh, I'll go walk by the location. And there's this big tree on the house. It was like, fuck. And I called Lisa and I'm like, there's a tree on the house.
Come on, girls. I mean, y'all were talking so much about Kayla. She's here now. Ask her your questions. I mean, don't bombard me with questions afterwards. I cannot tell from a ghost. So ask her now. T says, oh, I knew that was coming. And later on, then the perfect ending was not perfect. Thank you very much. I feel the same way. So many feels with that one. Yeah. I'm still, that is in my do not discuss column.
That ending was a perfect ending.
Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Okay.
You take a gorgeous woman like that and you do not do her that way. That's just dirty. Okay.
No, they both healed. She did what she needed to for her daughter. And Jessica got to be in grief for another year or two. You know, when the story comes, sometimes you just can't fight it. You have to just, I do find that with what you do, you know, if you feel like there's a certain thing that you feel is so like you have to have that way that you're conveying it. And if you try anything else, it just doesn't feel authentic and you just have to stick with it. That's what happens a lot of times when I'm, you know, like even the ending of More Beautiful. I struggled with that ending for the entire time I cut it, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was like, I have to do it this way. This is the way I have to do it.
I think
before I want to know, I just want to know. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying that Peyton was asking you, Kayla, what are your other projects coming up?
I'm trying to think of before we got shut down for quarantine, what I did right before that. I danced on the new Penny Dreadful City of Angels show, which just started premiering. I did a couple episodes where I danced in some of the club scenes. I don't know how much of it you'll see because it's not a dance-based show, but we did a lot of episodes for that. So that's the most recent. And then now that we're in quarantine, we're kind of, everything's in person for us. So we're a little bit on a standstill. We're trying to create some stuff and just keep active and, you know, playing with our art as much as we can.
Do you know anything about how they're going to try to bring any of the productions back?
No, there was an interesting write-up on, I think it was on Deadline, about when production comes back, just how they're going to have really small crews and people can't be near the actors and the actors are the only ones who could be unmasked. And there's just a lot of
that kind of stuff
up in the air things we're trying to figure out. how to have the least amount of people when you really need tons of people to do all these jobs.
I know. I mean, when you're on a set, you just see a million people that do a thing. And so it's hard, you know?
Yeah. So. And they're still trying to figure out, like, they're starting to do castings and auditions via Zoom. And so it's all kind of a new world right now for us.
Yeah, somebody told me the other day that they thought in January that the biggest news of 2020 would be the Australian fires. I thought it's a laugh.
No, well, nobody could have ever, you know, this is something out of a sci-fi movie. So that's sort of.
I mean, The Walking Dead, hello?
Yeah, that's the kind of horror I'm talking about. The ones that have this fantastical, you know, like, what is it?
I am all for that.
The zombie element.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Thank you very
much. Lesbian zombies? You want a movie called Lesbian Zombies?
Let's not go there. We still have a sore spot with The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. Did it get canceled or something?
God, no. No, they just keep killing lesbians.
Yeah, wasn't Thunderbird on that? Wasn't Tracy Dinwiddie on The Walking Dead for like one of the seasons?
For a while. Yeah, for a while. No, but she stayed there for a while. I mean, she was a bitch, but
yeah, no, she was a hard ass. I know. I saw some of the stuff on her site.
But in terms of the lesbian couples that they have, because they do have lesbian couples from time to time, but I mean, I know this kind of show that they have, but right now they do have a current actual married lesbian couple on The Walking Dead who still manage. Yeah, they're still alive.
Is that like one of the things you like, Kayla, zombie horror wise? Like The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I do when it's good, because there's some zombie movies that are not great. There's one of my favorite zombie movies. I believe it's on Netflix. It's called Train to Busan.
What is it called?
It's really, really.
What is it?
Train to Busan.
Train to Busan. How do you spell Busan?
I'll text it to you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, sweetie.
I think it's Busan.
I want to see some. I want to see how they.
Job said life is not perfect, so sometimes you need to see it in movies.
I agree. I mean, that's the best reason we can tell stories, and I'd rather be able to connect to real people's lives and make them feel like they're not alone, or make them, you know, feel like someone's there with them and understands what they're going through.
Well, the next two questions are for you. So
upcoming projects. So like I said, stuff is kind of on pause right now. The Penny Dreadful was the most recent thing I did. But I'm looking forward to doing more, hopefully soon.
You see, that's a reason why we have to start watching Penny Dreadful. T. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's really good too.
I'm going to watch it anyway because I love that actress that's in it from Game of Thrones. What's her name? What's her name?
Hold 1 second, guys. What is that?
Do you know what her name is?
I'm trying to remember. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
I hated when they killed her off in Game of Thrones.
Huh?
I hated when they killed her off in Game of Thrones.
Who's that? Oh, yes, Dormer, Natalie Dormer.
Yes, Natalie Dormer. Thank you. Yeah.
Excuse me. It's the queen of lesbian ships you're talking to. So, duh. But yeah, she. It's true. It's what I do.
Crack me up, honey.
It's what I do. She plays 3 or 4. How many characters she plays in? I saw the pilot episode, but I'm watching so many things. I haven't been able to see anything else. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd episode that came out, but she's playing 3 or 4 characters, right?
Yeah, she's like a shapeshifter, basically.
Yeah, that's what I remember saying.
Yeah, so you get to see her play all kinds of things.
Cool.
All right,
let's see, what made you transition to acting from dance? So I grew up dancing since I was 2. And as I got older through my dance, I always was really big on storytelling. I didn't want to just do movement for movement's sake. I liked making people feel things. And then, you know, when I did the gravity piece, the addiction piece, the the reaction that we got and the amount of people who reached out to us saying, you helped me through another day, or you know, my family deals with someone who has an addiction and you're helping us get through this, really struck me, that we were able to go into people's lives and again, make them feel connected, make them feel like they weren't alone, or make them feel like they can make it through another day. And that's kind of when I started getting the bug for storytelling. And then I started watching movies, and I was so interested in the process of how they connected to a story and how they brought it to fruition and made it really honest and true. And I just, when I started training and working on acting, it started making me feel the way dance did growing up, which was my pride and joy. It's literally the only thing, the thing that I love the most was dancing. And now acting and being able to go into someone's home for an hour and a half or 2 hours and take them out of their world and take them on a journey with me is something that I always want to do. And so I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing now. And I'll always dance because it, you know, that's been my life, but it's just another part of my dancing, I think, because dancers are actors in their movement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, when you know, I've seen all of the dailies many times over from all the dance sequences, and you perform every second you're on. There is never not an expression in your eyes. It always blows me away. Lisa and I used to watch tons and tons of things. So, what, is this a good take? Is this a good? We'd always say, she never isn't, you know, there in it. That you're so unbelievably present. It's really amazing.
Yes, I would. Do we all agree, ladies?
Yes,
you
we
can
all
tell her
do.
that. Please comment and tell her how much we loved her in this movie. Thank you. T, our horror lover, has said that, oh my God, this movie is awesome. Did you know that it has a, I guess she said, sequel?
Is that the one?
The one that you were actually mentioning just now?
Yeah.
It has a sequel.
I did not know that there was a sequel. What is it called? Do you know?
T, what is it? Yeah, T, what's it called? You know what it's called? Tell us. Well, I know that I did not.
The one you're going to text me.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
No, I knew that we didn't really specify how long you'll be up, or into the whole thing, but I know y'all have busy lives, and like I told the guys, they're actually getting more than we bargained for, because I told them y'all won't get more than half an hour. Leave me alone.
Oh my God, how long have we been on?
It's been 48 minutes.
Oh wow.
So anytime I'm giving you all ladies 5 more minutes, and then she came up with the schedule. It's called Train to Busan
Peninsula. Okay, so that's the sequel.
Yeah, that's the sequel.
Yeah,
I told you she loves horror, so you just have to mention that and she will have you. So she's all for lesbian horrors, lesbian thrillers, anything of that genre. That's a girl. But also and I'm action, as I've told you before. I wrote an entire script for that. So I wanted, but you know, I've already told you, as soon as you lay down the foundation for your company, I am applying my script. I already told you that. I don't care who does it. I just want to see that story up, because that is 6 lesbians doing all kind of actiony things. Hello.
Oh, love that. Love that.
Oh my
Superhero
God.
lesbians. So that was Batwoman, right? Is that what we had? Was Batwoman? Was she a lesbian?
No. No. Hold on. You come into comic books. That's me.
Okay.
Batwoman is a lesbian, but Supergirl's sister is a lesbian.
Hold on one second. Oh, that's so great. And she shared her script with her? That's wonderful.
Bravo, Peyton.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's sweet. Oh, you're very, very welcome, Peyton. And keep writing, okay? Just keep doing it.
That's amazing.
Well, I wanted to re-emphasize, before we go, I want Nicole, could you tell everybody, I mean, you're told, I mean, I can tell everybody to go to our interview, but it'll be so great as we have people on right now to tell them a bit about
we lost your picture, sweetie.
Sorry, darling.
Okay. Did we lose her audio?
Lost her.
Now we lost her altogether. Hi guys. Must be an Kayla show.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed when I look in the background and see how messy my office is. Like, oh crap.
No,
Jesus.
That's okay. I feel like we keep cleaning our house and then it's dirty again. So
yeah, I know. It's just I've been so busy. I love to let everything go. Okay,
I'm back again.
What was the question?
The question was, I wanted you to tell us about the project that you said you were going to start.
Do we not bleed?
No, not your project, not that project. I'm talking about being able to intake.
Yes, okay. It's Nicole Conn Films Global. We're rolling out the website next week, and it was specifically, we brainstormed and came up with this thing for lesbians to say, what can I afford in my pocketbook to get a movie every 18 to 24 months? So there's a subscription model, a donor model, a cash for credits model, and an investment model. And they can all go find those models right on Nicole Conn Films Global. And we'll be putting that out. And we're going to be partnering with a lot of well-known lesbian destination hub sites to help them try to get other women's films made, not just my own. But we have two criteria. They have to be quality and they have to be entertaining. They don't have to be political at all. We're not looking for anything like that. We just want entertaining, good subgenre lesbian product. And that's what we're doing. And I've got 18 women from around the world who are involved as the women who are spearheading this. And then we have NCFF, which has now almost got 1,100 members, which are our foot soldiers who repost for us. And so we're hoping that we will be able to entice enough lesbians who want good product to pay a little money every month so that they can get that at the end of, the day, that something's always in pre-production, something's always in production, and something's always in post-production. So,
but if you can you email me the links for that? Because
yes.
I'm sure that there are a lot of the girls that I speak to, and we have our own Discord. We chat every single minute of every single day.
Oh, can I say something else to your viewers?
Sure.
Anybody who wants to do a fundraiser in their home, I'll do a Q&A for, but it has to be a real fundraiser. That's one of the other things that we're doing in our donor and subscription model.
You hear that?
Any
Very
film.
well.
Any film.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. As T said, thank you for all that you do, because we appreciate it so much. And I could not have said it any better.
I appreciate you. So thank you.
Well, it's a mutual admiration society, sweetie. You know that. I just love and adore you so much. And I think you did I'm so proud of you in this movie. I'm so proud of you, how hard you worked, and you're just the best representative for we moms. We don't look nearly as gorgeous as you, but you are a great representative.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. And thank you everyone for watching and supporting. And
tell
so glad
all
to
your
hear
friends.
that
And if you like the movie, go give it good reviews on Amazon and IMDb. Okay? That really helps us out.
Of course. I already gave it 5 stars.
Very good. Well, we got Amazon's Choice yesterday. Did you see that? Did
yes.
You know that? We've got an Amazon's Choice on us now.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
see? Look, Jab saying, yes, we need more lesbian films. See, so I know a lot of us will be interested, but guys, I just want any last thoughts from the two of you all?
Thank you, Aurelie.
Any last thoughts between the two of you all in terms of not only the movie, but anything that you have in mind that you want to share with us?
Just be good to each other. Share the movie, share the love,
share the movie, stay safe. Thank you.
Stay safe, please stay safe, which means mask and stay the 6 feet away. It's not hard to do.
And it isn't over.
Yeah, it is way not over. So,
yeah.
Okay. Don't get me started. I'll lose my mind.
No. Listen, I'm so sad that one of our girls isn't here on right now. She looked at a little bit of the movie with us, Lena.
Mm-hmm.
She is from Norway and she's a nurse and she's obviously at work right now. But she wanted to watch it and, she said, oh my God, no. But, so she's going to be watching it later.
Super.
But she loved the movie and I think a lot of us did. But as I told you, my audience is very, very diverse in the world. Most of us are not from the States, but
that's good because that's who we're trying to reach, people outside of the country.
Yeah, and sometimes it's really, really hard to get. Not only do we it's very hard to get movies, so it's not only hard to source them, it's hard to get them. So a lot of times, as I told you before, those of us who we buy the movies and stuff like that, those that it's banned in our countries, or we just can't get it because of certain things. We share, and so we always make sure that although we share, we always make sure that those that can buy or rent the movies, because if we don't do that, then we don't get more content.
That's
so
right.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
But we try to help out because, as you know, as I told you, it wasn't until 2 years ago that it was illegal for me to just be alive. So
I know.
It's and I have a good now.
Thank you, T, though, for spreading the word and letting women that that cannot be out and can't get access to product, that you're helping them. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. And I would love doing what I do. I mean, I truly do love doing what I do. I wanted to be a writer and a filmmaker, and I live in a tiny speck of dust that is called Trinidad and Tobago. So there's none of that available here. But I do the second best thing, which is promoting and showcasing a lot of other people's work.
Thank you.
As long as I can do that, that's fine and dandy with me. Somebody from France. But of course, Peyton, you're from France.
Thank you, Peyton. Tell all the French girls. Oh, and we may be playing in the Paris Cinefable Festival this fall. We are playing in that, actually. So we just got confirmation.
Well,
New Caledonia. Ooh, that's wonderful, Aurelie. Thank you. And have you seen the movie, Aurelie? The More Beautiful?
But I don't know I don't think, Aurelie, were you on when we were sharing? Because just now she's answered. Yes.
She answered yes. She was able to.
Great. It was great.
No. The Aurelie gal that's from New Caledonia.
Aurelie, put if you were with us when we were streaming, or if you saw the movie yourself.
Because I just want to also say, on More Beautiful now is everywhere. morebeautifulmovie.com is everywhere you can see the film worldwide. It's got all of the Google Play, the iTunes Play, all of those things. Okay.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So send everybody to the website. That's what I'm going to tell everybody.
Well, everybody is saying hello and goodbye from where they were. Look,
thank you, Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Love that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you so much, T.
Aurelie, you're the last one. So she said yes, but it was so early I didn't watch it with you. Same time. That's it. Just it. Is the time differences.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Aurelie.
All right, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this. And
I cannot
wait to see your next projects.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, darlings. Bye-bye. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that live stream. So sorry for cutting it. The actual movie. But you all have your copies, and I will definitely be talking about it in my upcoming video, mainly my podcast. So check that out on Twitch, and of course join me on the 11th because I will be live streaming the first episode of the first season of Winona Earp. So check that out. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll be telling you all much more about it, but look for that on Twitch. Until next time, guys, adios, bye-bye, farewell, and have a great, great day. Bye-bye, everybody.